that. With that, let's welcome in Paul Mueller, an economist at the American Institute for Economic Research. Kent Strang is here, managing director at Americans for Prosperity. And back with us on set is Joe Borelli. All right, welcome, gentlemen. Thanks for coming on. Paul, start us off if you can. Specifically on Tesla here and how that ties into Elon Musk. What are investors watching this week?
Well, I think at Tesla, they're happy to have Elon's attention again. They're hoping, I think, that he doesn't go off in other directions and forays and really doubles down on what may be one of the most exciting parts of Tesla's business, the development of their Optimus robot. And also, I shouldn't overlook the robo-taxi as well. So Tesla's a fascinating company. It's actually a whole bunch of businesses wound up into one company. And I think investors are just cheering the focus of the man who built it and who just is a dynamo of energy and creativity.
Yeah, watching the latest interviews, he seems done with politics, at least for now. I think he's had his fair share. And as far as the robo-taxis, I guess that's going to roll out in Austin, Texas. We'll let Austin deal with that first before this whole thing rolls out nationally. I wanted to move on to this story, if I can, Kent, with you. Home Depot Chief Financial Officer Richard McPhail saying this: the company has diversified where it sources its merchandise. Bottom line is this: they're not raising prices for the customer because of the tariffs. Talk to us about that move, because it's different than others that we have seen. Again, Home Depot, they're not going to pass the tariff costs, whatever that may be, if there's an increase off to the customer. Essentially would eat that. Your thoughts there on the move by Home Depot?
Well, Americans have already suffered through high prices thanks to the failed policies of Bidenomics that cost the average family $11,400 more. So I think it's great to see companies like Home Depot ensure that they're not passing off costs to consumers to keep prices low. And as we look at the work that Congress is doing today on the reconciliation package, hopefully with the passing of one big, beautiful bill and the strong economy that can be gleaned from that, we can continue to see prices low, because that's what Republicans were elected to do, to lower prices, to make life more affordable, not to raise prices.
Sure. Speaking of, however, I guess depends where you shop or even which vehicle you choose to purchase, because automaker Subaru announced that it's hiking prices on several of its models as a result of those tariffs. In a statement, the company said the changes were made to offset increased costs while maintaining a solid value proposition for its customer. Subaru pricing is not based on the country of origin of its products. So, Joe, is this something that's just going to vary company by company?
Yes, and let's be clear about why. I mean, Subaru is one of those companies that did not bring jobs to America. You look at Hyundai opening a $7.5 billion plant in Georgia. You look at Kia, Stellantis, other companies that have offshore jobs over the last years, now bringing them back. We think about Ford as an American company, but the way the Ford CEO has been complaining lately, you have to remember that this is a company that used things like NAFTA to bring more jobs to Mexico, more jobs to Canada than in the United States. So if companies are blaming the tariffs, we should blame them first.
All right. Excellent points by all. Paul Mueller, Kent Strang, and Joe Borelli. Joe Borelli, if you could stay with us. Thank you all, gentlemen. We do appreciate that.